Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Matthew, and today is that time of the year again. Or pretty much any time of, well, when a year ends. It's the year ends, you get it. This is going to be my final video of 2022. I'm going to be 100% honest. This is actually just like a mirroring of what happened last year. This year, honestly, was a pretty good year, I would say. I got so many opportunities this year to really help build myself and to really help not only improve myself as a human being, but to also improve myself in terms of my skill set. Now, with that being said, I'm going to pretty much revise through all of the stuff that I did in this year from a creative standpoint, and then what I'm going to be doing moving forward in 2023, and what I guess another big grand announcement is going to be. So we'll get that ball rolling. So the first thing I want to talk about is the bit of the behind the scenes stuff, actually, which if you don't know, last year I made a video exactly like this, except it was much longer because I don't imagine this one being like 40 minutes. But essentially, the room right next to me is actually like a hallway that leads into the laundry room, but we converted that space into my own little workplace. Yeah, let's just say one thing led to another. That place is basically no more. The only remnants of that being mine is that big Godzilla curtain you saw on the advent calendar, day number 30. So, yay. Well, basically everything got merged back in here. I still have my work desk. I still have pretty much all my materials. I still have everything I need to make my videos. You know, everything that makes me happy. So I'm pretty much got everything that I need to continue making videos, and I'm perfectly grateful for that. Honestly, it'd probably be better if everything was merged back in here anyway. Because when I try to film out there, family noise, and because you gotta understand that I'm not a single child. I have siblings, and let's just say siblings can sometimes be a little rowdy, especially if we have more family over. So then that doubles, and so that increases the noise, and then you hear children screaming, and then you hear this. So that's exactly why it's been a little difficult here and there filming YouTube videos, but it's nothing like anything hard to do. So that's a bit of more updates as regards to that room. But in terms of behind the scenes stuff, not much has changed, honestly. You can definitely see I put a lot more posters back here to make it a bit more nice, not to mention the LEDs are still going, looks purple and everything, pink, I like it, because it gives more color to my videos, because that's kind of what I strive for nowadays, to make my videos as colorful as possible. Another thing I also try to do is to make my videos more suited to me. Essentially what I'm talking about is I'm trying to ramble a bit more in my videos just to make it more like an actual me just talking in terms of conversation, because that's kind of what I like to do. I like to talk, and we'll get back to the topic of talking a little bit later, but we're going to be just primarily talking about like my past work. So we're going to start with December 2021, as December 2020 influenced in 2021, December 2021 influenced a little bit of what we have for this year. So let's go ahead and start with that. The December 2021 project obviously was, I think, two of them. The Angry Birds and Godzilla Movie 5, Bird Monster High, and the Godzilla 2021 Advent Calendar. These two projects honestly took a little bit, because one of them I had to film literally back-to-back daily videos, randomly selected, and it was overall a pretty good time. Can't really say the same thing about the fifth Angry Birds Godzilla movie. If you noticed of how short and how unedited it was in comparison to the fourth film, I mean, you can watch my Angry Birds Godzilla movie 4 Lost Cut video, I explain it better, but to sum it up, I basically lost motivation for the movie series after the fourth film failed in terms of views, after how much I promoted it. So I decided, you know, who cares? I'm just going to plop out a fifth movie. No one's really going to watch it. Yeah, people watched it. So I made a sixth movie in order to balance out the trilogy, Well, I kind of did that with fifth and sixth, and you got the idea. So after the sixth film released, I decided there will be no more films beyond those six, and that's also something. We'll roll back to Angry vs. Godzilla. January, February, March, and April. Those kind of had a bit more secondly object show stuff, I believe. Game Godzilla was also on a pretty huge roll this year, at least for the good portion of January, February, March, and April. I also did a lot of more Angry Birds and Godzilla show episodes. In fact, this year was actually kind of like the rise of Tavius in a way, because especially like in the recent part of this year, especially like now with the recent 3 episodes I put out, it's trying to build like an ongoing story. Because like the reason why Tavius has been going so long, and an advantage I took basically, was that anything can happen. It's not a story-driven show. You know, if you want to make a story-driven show but have it last for a long time, you gotta build a really good and dense story. You know, like say like let's give a good example here. The Owl House, for example. Everyone knows what that is at this point. It's basically taken over the internet by now, because of how like popular it is. There's only so much you can do with a story like that, you know? Especially how they got shortened to only 3 big specials. You know, that kind of takes away from what they could have done. So had they had full 3 seasons where they could do pretty much whatever they wanted, you know, that would have been a whole lot better. And really? My cat wants to be let out. So if they wanted to do like a season 4 of it, assuming that they were actually able to, they would have had to make either an addition to that story, or say like stretch out the story even more. Because if you stretch out a story for too long, parts of it you're gonna have to fill, and it just ends up feeling like filler. I'm not saying TOH is filler. No, far from that. I'm saying that each and every episode, at least in some way, shape, or form, has some sort of story element. With Tavius, however, it's not a story-driven show, so anything could happen. But now that I'm trying a new story format, which will be per season, which is something I want to do from now on, or at least try to do as often as I can, that or I'll just come up with an idea for an episode specifically and we'll roll with that. You know, that could just be like just for like a few episodes, or it could just be for full on seasons. So, like the story for this one is that they're going to the Hollow Earth to get an energy source. Yeah, it isn't very based on GVK, but then again, it is a Godzilla and Angry Birds based show. They have to take elements from their respective franchises and make it a show. So, I think it's fine with that. So, also, if you've noticed, actually, we're gonna skip like the whole month thing and actually just talk about the projects individually. This year was also the end of a lot of different projects that I made throughout the past several years. For example, Snaky Sunday Show. This show came to an end earlier this year, and let's just say I'm very happy with what I did for Snaky. It's not the end, as you guys definitely saw in Tavius. Snaky made a little cameo in the episode The Alpha Call, and that's just becoming a little bit more that. Golden Glory was originally supposed to end this year. However, with all the stuff I've been working on with GG, I decided to push back the date to, at very most, the end of next year. I'm really hoping Golden Glory ends by then, because I want to move on to another object show that I have in mind. It's not Rising Rampage. We'll definitely work on that. That's just kind of right now kicking both me and Annie's butts right now for real life purposes. So there's not really much time we can do to work on that show. But we'll definitely come to that when we can. But I will announce that object show coming in the grand announcement, which I think I just revealed what it is. Whatever. So, Llama Man is also coming into an end relatively soon. I'll announce something about Llama Man pretty soon. Game Godzilla is coming to an end as well next year with the Game Godzilla movie, which is no more delays, no more pushback. This is it. December 2023. That's it. The Secondly Object Show and all the Blankly Object shows that I made, the Daily for a Month Object Show, Secondly Object Show, and the Secondly Object Show Mini. I think I just counted my middle finger first, then into who does that? it was just pretty hectic, especially. I don't think I'm going to be doing any more blankly object shows. I mean, I had one that I wanted to do, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it, pulling it off from like a storage or technological standpoint. But I might be able to. I've also done Matthew's House of Valor reviews, which is my shortest done series like ever. It didn't even last a year because it only lasted 3 episodes, and I announced I would be doing a reboot, which I am still doing it. I've actually written down the overall episode ideas, and to really put in perspective about this upcoming project, it's going to be. Yeah, I don't want to announce that just yet or say anything, but just know it's going to be way different than House of Valor Reviews was, because honestly, House of Valor Reviews was just kind of a left to rot show. Not much I can really do with it. Anyway, yeah, not much I can also say about the other shows I made, or I'm going to be making. Object World will probably be getting some new episodes uh, pretty soon. Although Object World was a show that my friend Wendy made, but unfortunately canned it, so I asked her if I could bring it back. She said yes, so I'll be putting out some new episodes soon. I know we're kind of getting to a little more later territory, but we'll talk about that later. Spiral Shape Show, again, don't really have much of an update about that. Play Button Palooza, again, shorts and stuff. Tried to make a YouTube channel for it. Didn't really work out, so I'm rebranding it to a Miri Studios YouTube channel. So we'll definitely use it for something. Again, that something coming up later or something. My dogs are going nuts. Basically, I put out a lot of episodes of like mainly Tabius, finishing off Snakey and such. But I definitely think that a lot of the projects I made, angling my camera a little bit, there you go, was honestly a lot. And I'm very much happy with what I did on this year. With that being said, though, let's go over to next year and talk about what other new projects. Which, I'm going to go ahead and say, Llama Man is coming to an end, obviously. Golden Glory is coming to an end next year, hopefully. There's no guarantee about that, but I'll definitely try my best to reach that deadline, because there's still quite a bit of episodes left to go. Not to mention I have to do GG Superstars. Let's see, Golden Glory the movie still has yet to come out, so we'll definitely be working on that. There's a lot of stuff to do with Golden Glory. Honestly, at one point I just considered rebooting the show, but I feel like there's just too much progress done on these projects for me to just can it like that, so I decided against it. Let's see. There's a Game Godzilla movie coming out next year. You guys pretty much already know a lot of the stuff that's happening, so we're gonna kind of already talk about the next one, which is a new Angry Birds and Godzilla show spin-off series. This is something I've been hiding for about a week or so, and it's always been on the back of my mind to make an Angry Birds based show, purely just a show. Nothing else. Nothing to do with Godzilla, nothing to do with this, nothing to do with that. It's just all Angry Birds. So what would it be about? Well, in 2016, I want to say, I made a comic book series called The Adventures of Super Red, and I had Super Red going around fighting aliens and such. I am turning that into a full-fledged series, and it will be coming out on January 2nd, 2023. I'm excited because it's going to be the first episode of a brand new show. And it's going to be very short. It's not going to be like 30 episodes per season. No, I'm not doing that. Tabius only gets that treatment. Nothing else. So that's kind of why I want to make this show. Not to mention it kind of acts as like a counterbalance to Game Godzilla. Because it doesn't make sense for me to have an Angry Birds Godzilla themed show and a Game Godzilla and a Godzilla-based spin-off, but no Angry Birds spin-off. So this will pretty much have the three pillars of Tabius, essentially. And coming off the heels of the movie, got tons of ideas for it, and I can't wait to actually put it into production. But the big one, the big project, is an all-new horror object show. I'm finally going to announce it. It is a FNAF-themed based object show. Now, hold on. I know you're probably laughing at that thought, but do not be mistaken. This is going to be something completely done unlike GG. GG was done pretty sloppily, and that's kind of the whole point of the show. But with this show, it is going to be something the OSC has never seen before. It is going to be dark, it's going to be gory, it's going to be a bloodbath, and pretty much speaking, it's going to be like a slasher object show. I don't think that many object shows that do have gore do it like. Okay, hold on, let me backtrack. They do it well, I'd say. You know, even if it's unnecessary, I think that if you're a person who just likes seeing a bloodbath on screen or something, like on a show or movie, then like someone who just likes horror films or something like that, then you would be having a blast with that sort of concept. So with this new show, I want it to be as dark as possible, and I've already started writing the script for episode 1, and it's fully done, and I love where it's going. So do not be mistaken. Do not laugh at the concept. You may laugh at the concept, but don't be laughing once you see the show in action. It should be coming out in 23, hopefully by GG's end and stuff, but hey, I'm just getting a head start now. All the other projects still remain the same, you know, not really much else to really write home about. And honestly, that's all I really have for this shorter last video of 2023. Like, I could say some other stuff, but realistically, I don't really have anything else to say. You know, I'm proud of the stuff I did this year, and, you know, I made so many episodes, and I'm trying to build a story with Tavius, especially, you know, finishing up the Blankly Object show and stuff. And it's overall just been a nice ride for this whole 2022. So, with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for pretty much this whole year, and I can't wait to see what is in store for next year. With that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys liked it, definitely subscribe to the channel. Jesus loves you. God bless you all. Go out there, spread the gospel to the world. Let people know about Jesus' name. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will be next year. Peace out, everyone.